And does everybody who wants one have a poster? Because we have more of them in the box right here, and Melissa can hand them out. I want to make sure everybody gets one for today, but also to take home and put in your windows, etc. So let's get started. Welcome, everyone. Okay, we got a couple cameras I want to start. Welcome, everyone, to the White House today. I want to welcome the beautiful family who showed up here. My name is Matt Nelson. I'm with colorofchange.org. And just welcoming you to take the next step in this really important fight to end police violence. And I actually want to start here. I want to start with people raising their hands. Hands up. Let's start with hands up. Hands up. Hands up. Hands up. Hands up. This crowd is fired up. Thank you. This is amazing. And I want to say that this gesture, hands up, has gone from a symbol of surrender to a pledge of resistance, to a call to action, and to a cry for change. So now when we say hands up, we don't mean we're giving up. We don't mean we're going away. We don't mean we're surrendering. We mean that we're going to work to stop this police violence. I also want to recognize that today is the week of the 9th anniversary of Hurricane Katrina. And people also were seen during that time with hands up wading through water. And again, it was not a gesture of giving up. It was one of fighting back and saying enough to the policies that ignore the basic rights of people. So I want to say hands up for Mike Brown, hands up for all of those impacted by police violence. And now I want to introduce the Color of Change Executive Director Rashad Robinson, who has been showing amazing leadership through this whole situation and has led Color of Change for the last few years. And so he's going to come MC the event and take us with 900,000 signatures right to the White House. So give a round of applause to Rashad Robinson.
I want to thank everyone for joining us today. Color of Change is the nation's largest online civil rights organization. We work every day to take moments that are happening in the world and transform them into long-term movements for change. We are here with this beautiful coalition of people to deliver over 900,000 signatures from people all around the country, demanding full accountability for the killing of Michael Brown. And to send a clear message to our federal government to protect Black lives and end racially motivated police violence. The police killing of Michael Brown and the way it was handled in Ferguson, Missouri, isn't an isolated incident. What happened in Ferguson is happening throughout this country, and it is the result of a national crisis. A crisis of racially motivated police abuse that threatens the safety and civil rights of our communities and sends a shameful message about who is valued, respected, and whose lives matter. The moment we are in calls for a definitive federal intervention and a shift in federal policy. We know all too well that racial profiling, stop and frisk, broken windows, policing, combined with the culture of little or no accountability for police officers, the lack of training, and the militarization of local police departments has made our communities enemy combatants. We are here to demand justice for Michael Brown and to call on the Obama administration to set a higher standard for policing across the country, to advance policies and financial incentives for law enforcement to meet that standard. We need a standard for anti-bias training across the country, real federal data collection on police brutality broken down by race. We need a new and improved federal mechanism for police oversight that brings about real accountability and the end to the type of cover-ups that send the message to law enforcement and the country that Black and brown folks' lives are not worthy of due process, protection, or dignity. So I'm here today to represent Color of Change and this broad coalition of voices from organizations like Credo Action, Move On, PCCC, NPA, SEIU, Demos, Democracy for America, Moms Rising, Ultraviolet, 18 Million and Rising, youth from around the country, elected officials in the faith community, everyday people who continue to raise their voices for justice on this matter. Like these groups, I stand here today committed to fight, to the responsibility to raise our voices in the times of crisis, and to work to bring about real change. We're here with leaders from Ferguson as well. But we're here in Washington and not in Ferguson, because our members at Color of Change have been to this show before, and we are tired. Oscar Grant, Amadou Diallo, Sean Bell, Eric Gardner, Chantel Davis, and Remarley Graham, to sadly name just a few. We are here because the history and present of civil rights and equal rights in this country is one that requires and has required the federal government to step in when local authorities are unwilling and unable to move the ball on civil rights. Whether to walk Black children into once segregated schools, to ensure our voices are heard and counted in this democracy, or to ensure that being protected and served isn't a privilege, but it's a right. So I want to close today by saying that these 900,000 signatures that we're going to deliver are not just pieces of paper, but they are the expressions of pain, of disappointment, and outrage in this moment of deep injustice. They're also the expressions of hope and aspiration, because only those that believe that things can change will stand up and fight for it. These 900 plus people and all the other people around the country hoping and praying for change, the mothers, the fathers, the youth, the grandparents, the students, the faith leaders, the everyday voters, they want to be heard. They want to be counted. They want to be visible. And in this moment, they want to build the type of movement that will bring about lasting and credible change. Thank you for joining us. And now it's my pleasure. After spending time on the ground in Ferguson, I got to know very well the organization called the Organization for Black Struggle, OBS. They are leading so much of the efforts on the ground that made this issue a national issue, that took it from something that happens in local communities around the country that we ignore and made it something that the national media couldn't ignore. And I want to introduce their executive director, Jamala Rogers.
Thank you. I'm Jamala Rogers with the Organization for Black Struggle. We bring you greetings from Ferguson, Missouri, and from St. Louis, Missouri. The question and issue of Black men being lynched is not new to America. In the early 1900s, there was an anti-lynching law that came about as a result of the lynchings of Black men. And in fact, today is the birthday of Emmett Till. So this has greater significance than just Ferguson. But one of the things that is happening in Ferguson that could have happened anywhere in this country is that Black folk and other folk said enough already. To see a young man graduated from high school on his way to further his education, lying in the street uncovered for 4 hours was just too much for the average human being to endure. So when I come to the White House, I come with the full understanding that this is an epidemic. There's something rotten at the core of most police departments. And if we're going to root out that rot, we got to start right here. It starts at the top with the Department of Justice, who are the highest level of law enforcement. They have to be accountable and make those underneath them accountable. In St. Louis, the expectation is that the DOJ is going to stop harboring rogue cops. They're going to stop harboring police departments that kill. Black people in this country are the only ones who have multiple shots fired for meaningless kinds of crimes. I'm talking about from Amadou Diallo, 41 shots in 8 seconds, to Kerry Ball in St. Louis a couple of years ago, 25 shots. Nobody has to endure this in this country but black men. And we want to stop to it. And it starts right here in the White House. So we're happy to be here. We're happy that we're getting all this attention. The young men and women in St. Louis are saying, now our story will be told. But the struggle is way beyond this. It's way beyond Mike Brown. It's connecting all of the urban cores who are enduring the same kind of crises in law enforcement and accountability that we have seen in Ferguson. It just exploded in Ferguson. It could have been anywhere, put any city in there. So we're going to take these 900 plus petitions, signatures to the White House and amplify that by saying there's many more who didn't even know that there was such a petition that would have signed, because their voices are being heard as well. So thank you for your efforts, Color for Change, and thank you for coming.
Now I want to introduce a member of the DC Youth Slam team.
My name is Pages. I am one of the coaches for the DC Youth Slam team. And this poem I'm dedicating to Ferguson and everywhere beyond Ferguson. This piece that I wrote here is entitled Questions for Nina Simone. It is a piece that I've had almost 2 years in the making, and it's not until the recent Mike Brown incident took place that I was finally able to complete it. Nina, upon hearing of the 1963 Birmingham, Alabama church bombing, which took 4 innocent brown bodies, you went to your garage to try and build a handmade gun. When your husband found you, surrounded in a mess of tools, he said to you, Nina, you know nothing about killing. All you've got is music. You then wrote and composed Mississippi Goddamn in the next hour, Nina. There are days I read your story, surrounded by so much pain like a mess of tools. How did you cut back the notes so music could become such a weapon? What rage moved your fingers into a cannon of sound? Because I wonder sometimes what happens when a poem doesn't save a life. When I am tired of making burial grounds from my tongue before my body becomes shrapnel for entertainment, re-trigger myself every time my voice relives the complex trauma of my own shotgun breath. Did the applause after Mississippi Goddamn feel like the imminent ticks before the detonation, Nina? We still got many dying unjustly. Rainisha McBride, Rakia Boyd, Ayanna Jones, Alicia Thomas, 4 little girls, different kinds of explosions, black women bodies be like a church, snatched the holy out of them by men and courts and policies who have none. What's empathy to a war you've already been designated to lose? And the weight of blackness feels more like a white flag of surrender. Did you ever feel like a surrender, Nina? As I do. When many of my students have PTSD, trying to bridge Shakespeare and Tupac doesn't make them want to take a life any less or risk their own just to prove that they are here, that they have something, that they are worth a purpose, not afforded by a pen and microphone. When you live on this side of oppression, did your gun give you purpose, Nina? With your spine made out of eggshells, melodious barcodes of keys, did it play a beautiful song of justice for you to be able to stand tall in the face of your inquisitors of post-racial society? Of how many ways can your body do that black magic? What happens when I run out of black magic and I cannot pull through? Because actions may speak louder than words, but silence also speaks with so much volume, like the hush after the Zimmerman trial. better known as just another Thursday in being black in America. When I became so afraid my son would leave the house and never return home because someone would not like the way his smile makes heaven spill like a melody out of his mouth. But I know nothing about killing. All I've ever had was music, whether it was my breath or a stage. You know, black bodies always been a musical. How to turn up becomes a turn of graves. We've seen how that purpose is drowned out in white noise. How loud I play my music can be a reason to open fire. Listen to a Florida gas station become a stadium of vibrations. Listen to a Detroit porch become a symphony of innocent blood. Listen to a subway train become a hum of a strange Fruitvale station. Listen to Ferguson become a riot of burning rage. Tear gas muting the moon. Our skin has always been such a concert. This is how I realized music, poetry, art has always been such a cause for a weapon, not to kill, but to defend our ability to hope, to strive, to fight. Nina, I wish to make a handmade gun of these words, to make my voice a barrel, my lungs a chamber, my breath a bullet, my eyes magazines reloading with a will to keep pushing when I just don't believe, when my faith is hanging by a thread, when I have run out of tears, out of anger, out of pain, out of metaphors. This love is all I have left when my body can no longer fight, and I sincerely hope that it will be enough ammunition.
Well done. Thank you. Thank you. I now want to bring up Alfred Burks from Howard University.
Greetings, everyone. My name is Alfred Burks. I'm a junior political science and economics double major, born and raised in Los Angeles, California, current student at Howard University. Right now, hundreds of concerned citizens are gathered at the steps of the most important and probably the most powerful country in the world. Concerned mothers, fathers, brothers, sisters, lawyers, organizers, activists, students are here now because the need for transforming the relationship between citizens and law enforcement must change. This change is so dire that literally every day we wait, people are dying. Organizations such as Color for Change, Organizing for Black Struggle, and just as importantly, students are here to demonstrate that Trayvon Martin, the precious lives of Oscar Grant, Jordan Davis, Eric Gardner, Sean Bell, and countless others, including the work done to highlight the unjust actions of police departments, needs immediate attention, but most importantly, it needs action. Students are here today to thank President Obama and U.S. Attorney Eric Holder for speaking on the severity of the issue. And that's great and all, right? But now, more than ever, you have an opportunity. Just as President Kennedy and Lyndon B. Johnson captured the opportunity in the civil rights movement. Just as President Roosevelt captured the opportunity during the Great Depression with the New Deal. President Obama and Attorney General Eric Holder, you have the opportunity to help value the life of young and black men and women of color. You have an opportunity to remove the barriers preventing students and communities that look just like me, and quite frankly, that look just like you, the right to walk the streets, the right to walk and drive to school and feel safe, the right to conduct business in this country just like every other American. President Obama and Attorney General Eric Holder, you can take lead and you can take action by holding police departments accountable for the practices and procedures that impede on the rights of citizens to be safe. I'm graduating in 2 years, but to be honest, the fear deep down in my heart tells me that I might not make it. As a black student at Howard University, it tells me that I may not make it, but not just because of my grades, or not because I can't acquire funding for school, but because someone wearing a uniform may not value my life, my being, and my endless potential. We are here today because this is a movement, and movements are very separate from moments. A movement consists of several moments, but moments don't necessarily dictate a movement. Folks here today care, and Eric Holder and President Obama, we're calling you to take action now. Thank you. Hands up.
Don't shoot. Hands up. Don't shoot. One of our partners in this work in bringing live streaming and live feed to folks all around the country has been WEAC Radio. I want to introduce Kimon Freeman.
When I say WEAC Radio, you say do something. WEAC Radio.
Do something.
All right. First, let's put our hands together for everybody to join us out here today at 5 o'clock. I know it's a struggle, but we really appreciate that. That's the do something part, ladies and gentlemen. That's the do something part. All right. I got some prepared statements. Of course, I would like to first thank Color of Change for spearheading this campaign, organizing this petition, and especially for sponsoring WEAC Radio's Ferguson live stream, also with our partners at Credo Mobile on the ground in Ferguson, Missouri, and they're still there broadcasting now as we speak. By now, we've all seen the blatant differences between commercial media outlets in terms of their content and our own independent media outlets. There's an African proverb that says, until the lions have their historians, the tales of the hunt will continue to glorify the hunters. Color Change support of independent media has made it possible for us to tell the lion story. While all the major media outlets continue to follow the hunter's playbook by attempting to criminalize the victim, we can quickly dismiss Bill O'Reilly's and Fox News' denial that white privilege still exists. 2 years ago, a young white man walked into a movie theater, killed 12 people, shot several dozen more, but despite being heavily armed with blood still on his hands in a parking lot at night, police were somehow still able to apprehend him without firing a shot. But dozens of instances of young black men who are both innocent and unarmed are murdered by police in broad daylight in the street. Whether choked to death in New York City or 2 shots to the head in Ferguson, these are state-sanctioned executions. And they must stop. I want to point out that the GoFundMe campaign for the killer cops in Ferguson, Missouri is spearheaded by an organization called, Operation Hope, Shield of Hope. Thank you for correcting me. shieldofhope.net. 2 other partners on that organization's website is Lens Crafters and Salvation Army. This is the job and importance of independent media to report to you what the 6 corporations that control most of what we see here and read do not report to you. All right? So again, I want to thank Color of Change and continue to watch hashtag Ferguson Live on the live stream. I want to also thank Credo Mobile, and I also like to thank Moms Rising, and more importantly, I want to thank you, and I want to thank all the people who's throwing tear gas canisters back, because without their do-somethingness, we wouldn't be here today. Whether it is in Ferguson, whether it's in Oakland, whether it's in New York, wherever it is, police brutality, the demilitarization of our police, this is some of the things that we need to be fighting for. And I want to again thank all of you for coming out here today. And please monitor also hashtag DC Ferguson for local events that's still taking place on the ground here. And join us Saturday at 7 o'clock when we shut down Union Station. All right? So again, when I say WEAC Radio, you say do something. WEAC Radio. Do something. Thank you all.
This campaign is still ongoing, and for folks who want to join, you can text JUSTICE to 225568. That's texting JUSTICE to 225568. Throughout the media coverage of what was happening in Ferguson, we continue to hear one of the voices from the ground, one of the political leaders from Missouri who spoke truth to power on the issue. I want to introduce Senator Jamila Nisheed from Missouri.
Good evening, everyone. What do we want? Justice. Where do we want it? Now. What do we want? Justice. When do we want it? Now. I would first and foremost like to thank Color of Change for their outstanding work. Let's give them a round of applause for bringing this issue to the White House. We all know why we're here today. We're here because an 18-year-old unarmed man simply walking down the street was shot and killed, and that's why we're here today. We're here because we want justice. We know that racial profiling exists not just in the city of St. Louis, but throughout the country. And now it's time for the establishment to hear our voices. So what we're asking everyone to do is to continue to light the fire for justice. We will not stop until justice is served for Michael Brown and many other unarmed young black men in this country. I would like to say to you all that this situation is not just an issue in St. Louis. We have underlying issues that's plaguing our country and our young men. They come home each and every day out of prison, and they knock on the doors of opportunities, and the doors are slammed in their faces because they go in the door with the stigma of being an ex-felon, and they cannot find jobs. Driving while black is a major issue, not just in the city of St. Louis, but throughout this country. So those are the issues that we have to tackle moving forward. And we cannot, I repeat, we cannot let Michael Brown's name go down in vain. We must continue the struggle. We must continue to rally. And at some point, we're going to have to. We're going to have to do some civil disobedience. Because they don't listen until you shake it up. We have to be willing, ready, and able to go to jail for what we believe in. August the 9th, 49 years ago, there was a Watts riot. And that riot was simply because those individuals in the Watts was economically and politically oppressed. And the violence against them by police officers caused those individuals to take it to the street. And as a result of that, we saw approximately $34 million in property damage, thousands of arrests, 35 murders. We're not saying that we're going to get to that level. We don't want to get to that level. But they should have learned from the Watts riot, and they didn't. And so now we're here today, and we're saying that we're fired up. Can't take it no more. Fired up. Can't take it no more. We're fired up. Can't take it no more. We're fired up. Can't take it no more. Again, I would like to thank Color of Change for their dedication and commitment to many causes throughout this country. 900,000 signatures will go to the Justice Department. And how many? Oh, okay. It's 900. And what we're asking is that that police officer be fired. Yes. Because how can you kill someone and still get a salary? I've never known a person to kill someone and get a salary. The only individuals I know are hitmen. And we're also asking that we get a speedy investigation. Now, what I heard from the governor in the city of St. Louis, the state of Missouri, he's basically saying that it's going to take approximately 18 months.
change is to raise the voices of everyday people. It's not about any single person's voice, but about our collective voice in this democracy, to be heard, to be counted, and to be visible. And so part of that effort is to deliver these petitions which we're here to today. And then to continue the meetings we've been having with the White House and the conversations. And to let folks know that whether it's a week, a month, a year, and decades, we will continue to fight not just for justice for Michael Brown, but for the longer-term changes that we need in our community. I want to thank everyone for showing up today. But this is just one step in the long road. I want to thank the many organizations that joined with Color of Change. These 900,000 signatures are not just Color of Change members, but they represent people from all around this country, people of many different races and backgrounds, people that come from different religions and speak different languages. They are part of America, and they are the voices of people who want America to work for all of us. And so, we're emailing our petitions, we're leaving our petitions, and we're continuing to raise our voices on the ground, through the internet, and in the media. Thank you all for joining us. We're gonna end today. We're gonna walk over, and then we're gonna end with some more from our DC youth poets.
Okay, thank you, Rashad. All right, so now is the time where we are going to basically everyone should line up with hands up facing this way. So everyone should like face this way. Melissa, where are you? Melissa's gonna be in the front. Jamar is gonna be in the back. We're gonna walk over, we have to stay on this street. Walk over toward the gate. Little hands up, don't shoot. And then we're gonna stop there. I need some. You can carry a box.
Pull that up and pose back in.
Please come up and grab a box. We're going to walk the boxes over as well. And so just hold on a sec while we get ourselves together. Yeah, take flowers, take boxes. We're taking it all to the gate.
Let me get a box with flowers.
Are we kind of like people with flowers?
You have a box with flowers. You have a box with flowers.
Turns that around. That's the which one? Just wait. Okay. I just want to get a picture of that.
Okay, do we have everything?
Not yet, almost.
Okay.
I know it's that.
Hands up, don't shoot. Hands up,
Don't shoot!
hands up,
Don't shoot!
hands up,
Don't shoot!
hands up.
Don't shoot!
Tell me when, Melissa.
Tell us when.
Yeah, all the boxes, bring them up front. And roll it in.
We're good. We can start back.
All right.
Hands up and get on the box.
Are we good?
Yep.
All right, let's start walking. Hands up!
Hands up.
Don't shoot!
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 Hey, we gotta go. This way.
Demanding.
Don't shoot!
Hands up.
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 Don't
So the White House has agreed to accept the petitions electronically because they can't take physical stuff, but it's okay. We heat it all up. So as soon as I give the go, we're gonna do it.
What do we want?
Justice!
When do we want it?
Now!
What do we want?
Justice!
When do we want it?
Now!
What do we want?
Justice!
When do we want it?
Now!
And here comes the go forth email. Sent. Go forth.
No justice!
No peace!
No justice!
No peace!
No justice!
No peace!
No justice!
No peace!
Thank you, everybody, for showing up. Please take more signs. You can leave the boxes here. We'll pick them up. We'll get them. Take the roses with you. Take signs with you. Please text justice to 225568. Do it now if you have your cell phone. And now we'll have the closing out with the DC Slam team. Come on up.
Yeah.
Malachi from the DC Slam team, please take us home with dignity.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Malachi Bird with the DC Youth Poetry Team. I'm a DC native, and I'm going to Princeton University in the fall. And I say that because that makes me know